What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Ducks Dish podcast. I'm your host, Max Torres, publisher and lead editor of Ducks Digest, covering the Oregon Ducks for Sports Illustrated on Fan Nation. Big episode of the podcast today. Really excited to bring on another guest. And joining me today is 2023 Oregon defensive back commit, Cole Martin. Cole, how we doing, man? Thanks for being here.
Good, sir. With yourself, I'm happy to be here.
Right on. Well, really appreciate you taking the time, man. Love bringing the commits on and, just having a little bit of time to kind of help tell your story. So kind of want to try to go big picture here, want to rewind the clock a little bit. So you're at Basha High School right now out in Arizona, but as your commitment video said, Pasadena representative, I believe. So let's just kind of start there. What was your childhood kind of like and growing up in Pasadena?
Growing up in Pasadena is really nice. I mean, being able to grow up with a lot of athletes and a lot of, other things that, help raise the athlete out in, California. I mean, being right next to the Rose Bowl and being right next to, schools like USC, UCLA, and my dad was a coach at Mount Sac, so to be able to, be around there at the time and, be in that little area and experience it was awesome.
Hard to ask for a better area to grow up, as a young athlete out there in Southern California. I feel like you guys got a little bit of everything. You got some great baseball, hoops, and then, football as well.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about your kind of early athletic career. When you were growing up, Cole, what kind of sports did you play, and when did football kind of get into the picture for you?
So growing up, track was always a big thing for me. I was running. My whole family has ran track ever since we can remember. So, we try to get in, or I try to get into track as soon as possible. Basketball also was a big thing for me. I really liked being a little point guard, being able to, run command of a team, and really, it really developed some leadership qualities, and as well as being able to, play soccer at a little young age, to be able to, get running around a lot. So, I try to dip my foot in the water for every sport, and really try to, be well rounded, and it all helped out with football. At the end of the day, to make sure I was more of a well-rounded person, an athlete.
All right, so we got track, football, soccer, and basketball all in the picture, which is awesome. I think when I watch your tape, man, that speed and explosiveness is definitely something that really pops to me. Especially in the return game. But with you as a track athlete, that's obviously a lot different from football. Kind of just take us inside there for a second. How does competing in track maybe differ from football? What's that like for you?
Running track really helped out a whole lot in terms of, like you said, being explosive and being able to, really shoot gaps and little holes during returns and stuff like that, as well as being a defensive back. I mean, being able to run with any receiver really and not really have, too much worry about speed differential or anything like that has always been an advantage that I had. And it really helps with being able to play in the slot at corner, slot corner and outside corner. I mean, being able to run with any type of receiver, it really helps out. So yeah, track. I give a lot of my success to track, and it's helped out so much.
Okay, so we see the track involvement obviously paying off. Developing you as an athlete, and certainly on the football field as well. You mentioned how your both your parents, I believe, were involved in track. It's kind of a family thing for you. What was the household like for you? Growing up as a kid, what was that kind of dynamic like, especially with your dad coaching?
Growing up, it was big on sports, but it was also really big on just growing up in life lessons. I mean, my parents did a great job of, raising me and really being like a good mentor to me, as well as all my other siblings. I mean, I have a sister that right now she has the number one hurdle time as a freshman in the nation, and I have a younger sister who's just now getting into track, and then a little brother who who's 5 right now and just now getting into track too. He just now started, so man, we're trying to everybody's in track and everybody's trying to dip their foot in right now. But track has always been something we've been involved in. My dad ended up playing at Michigan State, but he got there from basically his speed. I mean, he was a really fast guy, so to be able to have track in our background is something that we're blessed to have, and um, it's truly special.
That athletic excellence is running deep in the Martin family. With
Yes, sir.
you
Yes, sir.
with you playing football, kind of want to shift focus back to that a little bit more. Obviously, you were kind of getting involved with that early. When did you kind of realize that I could really do something with this? Like, I feel like I could maybe make a career out of this and play at the college level.
At a really young age, probably around 6 or 7, I want to say, my dad had put me in a league that I was playing up on. So I was playing against 9-year-olds being 7 or 6 years old, and I was really getting my butt whooped. It wasn't easy. So it was like stepping out there because I had done flag before, but this is my first time doing tackle, and flag was easy, but getting into tackle, I was like, man, this is hard. Like, so played for that for 2 years, and as soon as I hit 9 years old, I still played up a little bit, but it started to feel like everybody was my age. So I was playing against 10-year-olds being 9, and it really was like it felt like I was playing against people my age. So it started getting easier and easier. And then once I started getting to my age, probably I want to say actually at 10 or at 9, it really flipped the switch. Probably like mid-season or something like that. Um, I was like, I mean, I could take this somewhere, and it got a whole lot easier, and everything felt more natural, and it all came from of course God's blessings, but as well as all the extra hard work. So it was something that hit me at an early age, and something that I really didn't take my foot off the gas on. So
Wow. Okay, 9 or 10 years old, you were starting to kind of see that potential in yourself, which is super cool to see. And I mean, it sounds like a lot of that kind of goes back to your dad's decision to play you up at a young age.
mhm.
How did that kind of influence your mentality as a competitor? Because I think that's a huge part of the game, Cole. Right? You see the guys that are super gifted, raw athlete, can do it all on the field, but you get to college and sometimes not everyone finds the field right away. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about, your mentality as a competitor.
As a competitor, it's been something that I had to get involved in forever. Really, I mean, to be able to, in the city of Pasadena, it's a lot of athletes, it's a lot of kids that can all really, perform on the field and off the field, classroom as well. So, ever since I knew of competitiveness, I mean, I was involved in it. So, in the classroom, I strive to, try to keep a 4.0 or higher, and then in the on the field, I really try to compete against all my peers and really try to better them as well as I'm bettering myself. So that's always the plan, and it's been helping out a lot, as well as you say, my dad put me in as an early age. That really my whole family has always grandparents and uncles and aunties, they've all really tried to push me and really push the rest of my siblings to really work hard and really go against the standard and really push against it. So um I just give thanks to all of them, and it's truly been a blessing.
That's such a big part of it, is being a well-rounded individual. And I liked what you said about, keeping the grades up as well. You mentioned earlier in the interview how your parents really instilled good, kind of good life lessons in you and were great mentors for you. I think another big part of football that maybe we don't talk about, or just sports in general, is that I think it teaches you how to go through adversity a lot. And we've all kind of as a world
Yeah.
gone through a lot of adversity these past couple of years. But what are some of the lessons that football has kind of taught you and helped mold you into the guy you are today?
Football has taught me lessons that I wouldn't even have found imaginable if I wasn't in football. I mean, um, lessons as terms as to family, friendships, and the extra mile. I mean, the biggest thing that I've learned through football has been I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's so much stuff, you learn from football, and a lot of stuff that really you wouldn't think that you would learn. I mean, the top three biggest things I'll say have to be family. I mean, uh, growing up in a football or an athletic family, as well as growing up, competing with everybody else in Pasadena, has always been, something that has been in my blood, as well as, trying to form like family and relationships doing all of that. So, that's been big for me. And work ethic. I mean, that's also the a huge thing. You can't really, or my favorite quote I would say is, "Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard." So, um, if I try to, I've heard of that quote since I was at a young age, and being able to, use that in football as well as using it in the classroom has always worked out for me. So I strive to keep on doing it. And the last thing I'd probably say, would probably be, I'm gonna throw you a curveball now.
All right.
It would be, you know, man, I'm trying to figure out how to spit it out, but man, so you're it's a lesson that one of my coaches taught me, Coach Joel Bryant. He always said, it's not about what you do on the field, it's what you do off of it, and it's a whole lot more stuff that he went into depth a whole lot more. I can't really no, I don't know everything he said like quote for
Sure.
quote, but the main message was, it's not about what you do on the field, what you do off the field. And a lot of people, they get caught up in the success that they produce on the field, and it makes them a one-sided person. But he forced being a well-rounded person was something that was huge and something that needed to happen for you to even be successful in life. So since a young age, he's taught me that, and he's always been on my butt about it. He still tells me about it. So it's always been something in the back of my head, and I've always strived to try to be a better person off the field than I am on the field, and I'm really trying to elevate that.
Man, that's awesome. You've really been able to take away a lot of great lessons from your time as an athlete, and that's actually a perfect segue into my next question. Is talking about off the field, Cole. In today's era of sports and with the media and everything, I feel like so often fans and other people kind of just think of you as an athlete, but you got stuff going on off the field, right? You got family and friends, so you're more than an athlete. I just wanted to kind of ask, what is Cole Martin like off the field? Tell me a little bit about your life there.
I really try to, 1,000% of the time, I put God first. I mean, God, created all this for me, and really put me in a position to, be where I am today. So all glory to Him, and as well as, really, um, really being a family guy. I mean, I really love my family. I really love to, spend time with them, and really try to, help out with anything I can. If little bro needs some little work on the track, that I'm gonna help him with that. If little sis is she's trying to learn how to play softball, I'm gonna try to help her with that. And if the big little sis needs some help with anything, even though she kind of got her figured out, I'm gonna try to help out with that too. So, I really try to be there for all of my siblings, and really try to elevate their game as much as elevate my personality as well, and really try to grow as a person. Um, and a little bit else about me, I'm just huge in the classroom. I'm really big on trying to make sure my grades are good. But other than that, I mean, that's cool.
All right. Yeah, lots of great stuff there. It sounds like you're looking big picture, right? And I love how you're putting family first
Yes,
and
sir.
kind of looking to help out in those ways as well. Want to shift a little bit now, Cole, and talk a little about Oregon and some more about kind of the recruiting process for you. I'm
Do it.
gonna see if I can put up some of your highlights here and kind of just get a another cool little dimension to the video. All right, there we go.
Awesome.
Um, so yeah, let's just talk about. I think with you being committed to Oregon, you were here at the end of the month out in Eugene for a visit. I think a lot of people, they read the interviews that are the stories that I write, and see the pictures and everything. But what's it like to be a commit and come to Oregon and be around Dan Lanning and the new staff and see all of the Nike facilities? What's a visit like for you?
The visit was awesome. Being able to see everything, Nike and Oregon over there is a beautiful place. But, the biggest thing that I loved about, what Coach Lanning was selling to me was that we can get out in 3 years. I mean, that's the plan. I mean, you want to go out there and graduate as soon as possible. And that's the biggest thing for us. I mean, to be able to, graduate and, if you want to come back and play. But, that's the biggest thing. Be able to have a degree and be able to, you know, um, build on something is something that I really found special. And Coach Lanning's such a great guy, and he's always had a good relationship with me. When he was at Georgia, I tried to talk to him as much as possible, and he was a great guy. Um, and Oregon having him is just the perfect fit. Being able to have such a great coach and having such a great staff behind it has been the perfect decision for me. And I'm just trying to help bring anybody else that would like to join that uh, great greatness that it has to come.
You said you're right there. You're trying to bring other people to, hop on board with this 2023 class. You guys are on the clock now that the 2022 class is more or less wrapped up. For you, Cole, now that you're a commit, I feel like you go from recruit to recruiter in a lot of sense, right? You're a peer recruiter. You know what it's like for these other guys. Well, what are you selling, your peers on? What's your kind of pitch to Oregon? Because I feel like it's a lot different from, what the coaches are getting on the phone and telling recruits. I think it's a little bit of a different dynamic.
Yes, sir. I mean, being able to, build bonds with recruits has always been something that I've done. I mean, having friends that just, are ballers has always been something cool to me. I mean, and trying to build relationships and build bonds to, get them to even come to Oregon, but really just, build relationships as a person and really just have good friendships has always been something cool to me. And now being able to be committed and actually have a school that um, I I want to bring other people to is something special to me. I try to reach out to as many people as possible, and really build bonds. I mean, really, just have good relationships, and that's always been the plan at the end of the day. Um, so yeah, it's been really cool. It's been really exciting to be able to be in this position, be able to do that, and I've been enjoying every minute of it.
Man, it sounds like a super cool process being a recruit, and it's all about relationships. It sounds like from whatever end of the spectrum, whether it be a coach or a recruit. A couple more for you, Cole. With Dan Lanning being a first time head coach, I think a lot of people are maybe putting more weight into that than they should. But it is, I think, a valid point to kind of look at when you're kind of looking at the trajectory of this program. What was it kind of like for you to have that confidence in a first time head coach to say, hey, this is my guy, and I believe that he'll be the man for the job that can really get me to the next level.
Coach Lanning, his mindset is well beyond any other coach I've really talked to, and that's how I felt about it. I mean, Coach Lanning, he has a plan, and he's gonna follow that plan and do it as well as being himself. I mean, like I said, he's a great guy, and his personality speaks more volumes than any other coach can just off their coaching. So, one, he's a national championship coach. I mean, he just won a national championship, and his defense was really what won them that championship, as well as, having a team that he really built. So, on the defensive side. So, it's been cool to really get to know him even more and really build a good relationship with him and really look at him as a good mentor and a second father. I mean, he's a great, like I said, great guy, and always always has that smile on his face, and it's always genuine, and which is something that is hard to find. I mean, somebody who has genuine energy as well as wanting to wanting success for himself as well as everybody else, and that's been the biggest thing. Um, so yeah, Coach, I have full faith in Coach Lanning, and I have nothing but you know trust in him that he's gonna lead this Oregon Duck staff to a national championship.
It really feels like that energy is infectious from Lanning, going out to the rest of the staff and then to the recruits and the players as well. Cole, with today's era of social media and traditional media kind of just changing a lot. One of the questions I wanted to ask you is, since you were on those visits, I feel like we're seeing a little bit of a change with Lanning. To have the photo shoots, but you can go to a bunch of different locations. It looks like guys get a unique video made for them, like encompassing the trip, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
What's that kind of like for you, seeing that it's so important for recruits to build their brand even before they get to college?
Coach Lanning, he's bringing a lot of stuff that he learned and, really applying it. And it's really a national championship mentality. I mean, yeah, the visits and the pictures are all fun and stuff, but beyond that, he's really trying to get to know you and really, um, build a great bond with you as well as trying to, sell you what his plans are. I mean, his mindset, like I said, is beyond any other coach that I've talked to, including with this person, encompassed with his personality is just it's something that is built. He keeps building upon, and it's really easy to tell of how great of a mindset he has. So, with the visits and the pictures, I mean, it's something that really stands out and it really makes it different from any other place. I mean, to be able to feel um, all you get to wear the best uniforms in college football, as well as being able to take a million pictures and you know, um, you know, in your swag and your game attire, and really just enjoying your time out there. At usually a kid right now, that's their dream school, and or it was their dream school growing up. So to be able to be there and take pictures and really enjoy the experience has been something that a lot of people take in and really enjoy.
Yeah, that mindset really sounds like something that is kind of a game changer once you get these recruits on campus and in front of Dan Lanning. I know it was something he wanted to do for a long time since he had to finish his business at Georgia, winning that natty. The last one I have for you, Cole, seeing is kind of a big picture question about the Oregon program. Um, I feel like in years past, people think about Oregon and think about Chip Kelly and the explosive offenses, but you bring in a guy like Lanning, and this 2022 class is pretty defensive heavy, I feel like, and you're the first one on board in 2023 being a cornerback. Where do you feel like the identity of the Oregon program kind of lies? Because I feel like it's kind of shifting with Lanning coming in, and how strong the defense has been in recent years.
A lot of people feel that Oregon's gonna turn to like a defensive school, and um, the mindset that Coach Lanning has, and everybody else sees around it is really just a all around team. I mean, Oregon's always been known for their explosive offense and stuff, but they've always had an amazing defense as well. With players like Justin Flo, Sewell, and other corners and DBs that always are you know top of the boards in draft class and stuff like that. But that's never been what the identity has been. So to have identity of with a defensive minded head coach, as well as having such a great offense, it's I feel like it's the limit of where Oregon can go is going to be unbelievable. I mean, to be able to have guys that want to come in from defense that really want to change the little spectrum, as well as dudes that are offense that want to keep the spectrum. So it's going to make it such a more broad and more explosive team, and I'm just super excited for what it has to show.
Dan Lanning certainly has people excited about the direction of the Oregon football program. This is Cole Martin, 2023 Oregon commit. He's going to be playing for his dad, new cornerbacks coach, Demetrius Martin, once he gets out to Eugene. Before I get you out of here, Cole, we talked about the importance of building a brand. wanted to give you a chance to plug all your social medias where people can find more of you.
On Instagram it's going to be Cole Martin with 2 E's and 2 N's, and then on Twitter it's going to be Cole Martin 21. Please drop a follow. But I want to say thank you to you for allowing me to hop on the show.
Absolutely, man. Loved having you on, and really appreciate you taking the time to have some conversation about your life, your athletic career, and of course the Ducks. But that's all we have for you guys here in this episode of the Ducks Dish podcast. Huge thank you to Cole for hopping on, and thank you to everyone for tuning in and supporting it. And we will catch you guys in the next episode.